If your teen has been struggling with shaking, weakness, or sudden episode, especially when they are sleep deprived, you are not imagining as a parent. So by the end of this video, you will understand how sleep can help regulate your teen's brain and body and why just focusing on symptoms is not enough. Did you know poor sleep can be making your teen's FND symptoms worse? Many parents notice when sleep is off, even by a little, that their teen's FND symptoms feel harder to manage, like it's out of control even more so. Now it was a house fire and now it's like forest fire kind of thing. And that is not about your teen doing something wrong. It sounds weird, but it's because the nervous system of your teen needs consistency and calm to retrain the brain and the body. And sleep is one of the ways we create that safety. So let's dive in. Hi, my name is Dr. Lee. I'm a pediatric health psychologist and the founder of Teen FND Academy. I've been helping teens with FND and their parents get their lives back by teaching them the skills to be resilient against the FND so it doesn't get in the way of their life to full potential. And many times I talk about sleep and FND in my coaching program, so I want to share the connection between the two of them. So to be fair, sleep is not just about rest. We think it that way. It's actually how the brain resets. So when we are awake, we are ready to go because the energy is there, fully charged, the communication network is fully available, which helps us to move, think, feel, and talk with other people during the day. So think of our brain energy as a cell phone being fully charged when you wake up in the morning. And when sleep gets disrupted, especially over time, so this is not just a one or two here and there, over time, the nervous system is more likely to stay stuck in this flight or frozen loop, which is exactly what we're trying to retrain in FND recovery. Now, if your teen has FND, you might see things like shaking, collapsing, sudden weakness, or changes in sensations or speech, functional seizures, and all of that. And all their medical tests might look totally normal. And in fact, you're feeling confused. What we're seeing is true, and then we know our child is not making things up. But what do you mean it's not showing anything, right? That is very, very confusing. Well, that's because FND is not a structural problem. It is a functional one. The signals between the brain and the body are getting scrambled, like cell towers are not communicating with each other, and the calls are getting dropped over and over again. And poor sleep can make that loop even harder to untangle. So the calls are getting dropped because of the nervous system and the network communication glitch continue to happen. Now, if this type of information is helping you understand your teen's FND a little bit better, hit like and subscribe, and feel free to share your experience in the comments. I do read and respond, and I love hearing what's working for your family in this FND recovery journey. Now, inside my program, I teach families something called a 6-step sleep protocol. And one of the most important things is creating this calm and consistency around bedtime routine and sleep-wake cycle routine. That includes, number one, waking up at the same time, including weekends. Now, teens can have 1 to 2 hours of flexibility on weekends. So for example, if your teen wakes up at 6 a.m. to go to school, for example, then he can sleep in until 7 or 8 a.m. on weekends. Number two, going to bed only when your teen is sleepy. Forcing your teen to go to bed when they are super wide awake will only increase the stress and frustration of them not being able to sleep. So wait until they're sleepy and then go to bed. So you might be thinking, well, does that mean my child can play a video game until 3 a.m. because he is not sleepy at all? Well, not so fast, which leads to the third point of this protocol, which is to cut off the screen time at least 1 hour before the scheduled bedtime. So what does that mean? If your child is supposed to go to bed at 10 p.m., for example, but he's not sleepy at all at 10 p.m. Well, guess what? He doesn't have access to the screen. That includes his phone, tablet, TV, games, all of the above after 9 p.m. sharp. This is you as a parent need to set the healthy boundaries. Well, what about audiobook? Some people might ask. Well, here's the deal. If your child is listening to something super boring, like someone reading your neighbor's phone numbers, remember the yellow book, that doesn't exist anymore, then sure, okay. But if this is something something your child loves and gets excited about the audiobook, then not really, because you really want to calm down their nervous system, not instead of getting really excited, right? And if your child has been listening to audiobook to quote unquote numb their mind to eventually fall asleep, that's not really the solution either, which leads to the next point. But before going there, audiobook, I would say try to limit that as well. The Family Guy shares a handful of practical strategies to help you get out of this survival mode. And it shows why our structured approach gets such a strong result. Grab it from the description below. It is free. So number 4, when they are not sleeping, what do? Do boring things out of bed. The retraining your child's brain and body around sleep is all about retraining the brain body. The bed is a place to sleep, not a place to feel frustrated and toss and turn or lounge, like eating, studying, talking to friends and all that stuff. So out of bed, on the floor, sit on the chair or couch, anything is fine for now as long as they're out of bed. So things like staring contest against the wall, read a boring book on their parents' bookshelf, or count 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 and listen until they feel sleepy. Then go to bed. So this is where you're setting the tone and the boundary, and of course talk to your teen about what they are willing to do and what they can do to begin with. But this is really the protocol that all teens in my program are following, which leads to number 5 of the 6-step protocol. No daytime naps. Drink water, walk around, stay awake to retrain the brain and the body and reset the body clock. No questions asked. And if that means that your child needs to literally stay awake to get through the day, so be it, because this is really about resetting the body clock and retraining the brain and the body, which leads to number 6, no caffeine after lunch hours. That includes not only coffee, but energy drink, tea, soda, chocolate, and the coffee. But the focus is not about on rules. It is on helping your teens' nervous system, brain-body communication learn what safety feels like. Why is your teen struggling to sleep even when they are tired? Well, sleep is harder when the nervous system is on high alert, like fight or flight or frozen. That's why teens with FND may have trouble falling asleep or staying asleep, even if they are exhausted. I call it tired but wired. Now, this does not mean they're doing something wrong, as I mentioned before. It means we need to help the brain feel safer, and sometimes that starts with sleep routines, not medications or pressure. So if your teen needs to do all 6 of those things, then start with step 1, waking up at the same time. So if you're thinking, but my child is like a zombie because he didn't sleep last night. Well, guess what? I hear you, I believe you, and I dare to ask, what is the priority here, right? If your child is like a zombie, but being consistent with waking up at the same time for the next 3 to 4 weeks, then his brain and the body will start to readjust to the healthy sleep-wake cycle. Now, if you're also thinking, my child had a last night and it was crying all night, so I felt so bad and let her sleep in. I get it. You care. You love your child. And so do I. What I teach in my program is this though. Are you looking for a short-term Band-Aid situation? While you know that is not helping your child to get better, but also do you want to be successful in her life down the road? Again, now is the perfect time to reset the expectation, priority, and follow through while you still live with your child. And this is why teens with FND get better faster when their parents are fully on board and follow through. If you want to see how my full program of Teen FND Academy works and how it's helping families resolve FND for real, then watch the video linked in the description box below. So this is where parenting teens with FND seems very counterintuitive, but this is why you absolutely need to know what you're doing to actually help towards a recovery. Now, your teen is not broken. Their brain and body just need help getting back into the rhythm. When we improve sleep, we are not chasing symptoms. We are giving the brain one more chance to feel safe, stable, and ready to rewire, like all these cell phone networks that's working correctly and properly, right? So if this video helped and you are wondering what else can throw off the brain-body loop in FND, because there are so many, not just sleep, I've made a free video that walks through the most common triggers that actually matter. It's short, clear, and helps families focus on what really makes a difference, not what's just noise.